Alright guys, we're gonna watch another Asmongold video. Sorry, I didn't upload like probably 2 days, so cause I have a little bit of fever and cough. So here we go. Alright, so the latest from Asmongold about something insane that has happened.
In this video, a cancer patient living through the Berlin blackout says he is sleeping in the hallway of his apartment
hmm
complex because it's the warmest part of the building.
Oh
His neighbors say the
shit.
refugee center
Like it's Germany, it's a first world country. It's not like a freaking an African country or something like that. Damn.
next door was evacuated days ago. The German officials evacuated refugees and left the
hmm
elderly and cancer patients in the cold. Refugees in
Why?
Berlin were evacuated.
Why would they do that? Like they will evacuate the refugees but not take care of their own citizen. Why? Why the fuck would they do that? I'm so angry. Like why do white people hate their own citizens, their own ethnicity, and their own race? I am not a white person. I mean, yeah, you can hear from the accent, I'm not a white person. But, I mean, I don't hate white people. I don't hate any ethnicities. Everybody is equal and everybody is a human being. Treat humans like humans. Honestly, yeah, there is a phrase called, yeah, Black Lives Matter or like stuff like that. I would start a phrase called Human Lives Matter. Give a human being the dignity that a human being deserves.
While cancer patients and elderly residents remain in the cold. Berlin rents a luxury hotel for asylum
Oh,
seekers. We're
buddy.
launching the
Yep.
Berlin Hotels for Berlin residents, which is aimed at Berliners affected by the power outage. The hotel rooms can be rented at special rates for $70 double room, including breakfast, until the
Okay.
damage is fully repaired. At the same time, the Germans have noticed that German
Okay.
authorities are renting the entire luxury hotels for refugees from Africa and Ukraine.
Come on.
Oh my god.
Berlin's
Yeah.
mayor says left-wing
Oh
political
my God.
extremists are most likely behind an attack on the city's electricity infrastructure that has left
Yep.
tens of thousands of homes without
Okay.
power.
This is insane.
All right. So basically, like, like there have been some kind of attack which destroyed the power system of Berlin, which is creating the power outage. I mean, complete blackout. And after that, like, they are not gonna take care of their own citizen. They're gonna evacuate the refugees. That's the refugees are the first priority, and then they're gonna put them in luxury hotels where the actual citizens who pays the tax which created the welfare state that is Germany gets to live in their cold home, sleep in the hallways. I mean, like how absurd it sounds. Like, would like think of it like this. Yeah, think of it kind of like this. Imagine you're running a apartment complex. Like, think of it as a micro level, not on a macro level like in a country, like a micro level like an apartment complex. So in those apartment complex, one of the apartments belongs to your mother or belongs to your old mother and father, and also there is another apartment complex which belongs to your brother's family, and there's a power outage in the whole apartment complex. Okay, so and you have a separate house, so who are you gonna take to your house? Option A, your old mom and dad. Option B, your brother's family and their small kids. Or option C, Alejandro from the like apartment number 3 block V, 3 block B. You're gonna take Alejandro home. That's what Germany is doing. Like, you don't know shit about Alejandro, but just because he is Alejandro, sorry if anybody's name is Alejandro, if I offended you guys, but I'm just giving you an example. You're gonna take Alejandro to your home, but leave your old mom and pop, and also leave your brother and his and your young nephews and nieces, which are children. You're gonna abandon them, and you're gonna take Alejandro and Alejandro's 15 kids into your apartment complex. Like, really?
Same.
Residents in the German capital are being told they might have to wait several days until power is fully restored.
Yeah.
Police say they've received a letter claiming responsibility from a known extremist group, and they consider the claim credible.
Oh.
Lights are out.
Why the fuck the police didn't do anything against the extremist group? So an extremist group can destroy the whole infrastructure of the energy infrastructure in Berlin. Like, really? Like, don't the police have guns?
Across southwestern Berlin, where several districts have been hit by a major power outage suspected of
fucking
being
snowing.
a political crime.
Man.
The electricity went down
Especially
early
during
Saturday
winter,
morning
you know, yeah.
and is
It sucks,
expected to
'cause it's
remain off
winter.
for several days.
It's day 4 without
Residents
power.
were caught off guard while facing snowy conditions and freezing temperatures.
I tried using my phone. It didn't work.
Oh.
Nothing. It was really
So there is no like cell service there also. Wow, bingo.
weird.
Amazing.
I couldn't even make a coffee.
Okay.
The apartment was cold.
This is what happens whenever you don't go after these extremists. This is exactly what happens. I try to tell people about this and
Yeah,
warn people about it,
exactly.
but nobody ever listens to me
need
because they
to-
say, "Oh, it's not that bad. It's not a big deal." Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not until it is.
You need to crush extremist group in any society because extremist groups, they are unsocial in nature, violent, aggressive, and ruthless. So you need to, like, you can't fix them with rehabilitation or with like, okay, I'm gonna lock them up in jail and show them like Iraqi Sesame Street, and they will and we will like re-educate them. It's not gonna work with them. Like, you have to like destroy extremist group with hammer, hammer of justice. Sorry, I meant to say hammer of justice, with like proper, like, you have to treat them with the language that they understand, and that language is violent, aggressive behaviors. So if the refugees are not the refugees, sorry, if the extremist groups are being like are being extremist, you have to treat them with that much violence. Like, you have to be more violent with them so that they don't, so that they know that their actions have consequences. Otherwise, they will just do shit willy-nilly because they don't care about any actions, and they don't care about any kind of consequences. If actions don't have consequences, you have a situation like this.
I've said this over and over and over. You have to put your foot down with these people. You have to stomp these people out. Because if you don't,
Yeah.
they will eventually do something that's really bad. It's
Yeah,
basically like,
exactly.
it's like the stupidity of, oh yeah, this very small plant is just going to stay this size. It's not going to grow bigger. If you don't do anything to these different people, they will just continue consolidating more and more power and being more and more extreme because they can be.
Yeah, because it's a free field. Why they won't be? And also, like, think of it like this. Like, I do a little bit of gardening. Okay, so think of it like this. If you have weeds in your garden and you don't clean those weeds, they're gonna suck all the nutrients from the plants that you planted in your garden. So you need to get rid of the weeds. It's simple. Like, even nature tells you that. Like, if you have some kind of like parasitic plant on a tree, on a fruit bearing tree, and if you want to save the fruit bearing tree that you planted and you put all of your hard work into that tree, you need to get rid of that parasitic tree. That's simple logic.
Yeah, not great.
Ja, nicht schön. Dann dachte ich aber, wenn das
I
ganze
thought
Haus
if the
Need to
whole house
charge
has
them with
no...
attempted murder? Well, I mean, guess what my opinion is of what should happen to them.
They should be
power,
in jail
then it must be something bigger.
with
Then I looked at my phone It was
Or
in
they should be
satellite mode,
deported.
which was
They
also
should
Satellite
strange.
mode.
an, was irgendwie auch seltsam war.
Around 50,000 households were affected. Berlin's
50,000
electricity grid
house.
operator said the
Fuck.
outage was caused by a fire
How is this
that
helping their
burned
cause?
several cables near a power station in
stupid. Like, I mean-
Lichterfelde, one of 4 blacked out neighborhoods. Stromnetz Berlin also said the outage resembled
There's a certain subset of these like climate change people that are basically terrorists, and they view any type of power or mechanization or anything like that as being problematic because it could put the earth at risk.
You know what people should do, or what countries should do, like to climate, like activist or like climate change activists. They should lock all of the climate change activists and put them in an African country. Let's say, like, I don't know, maybe Sudan. Yeah, or maybe, better yet, they could go to Somali and like, because there are like lots of African countries like where there are not that much power structure. Or better yet, what, if Africa is too harsh, since they have to compete with other like people, other humans, you should capture all those like freaking climate activists like Pokemon, put them in a large ship, and then put them in the middle of the Amazon rainforest. Yeah, you want to save the planet? Here you go. Here there is no power, no pollution. Live in a live in a place where there is no pollution, no nothing. Become a wild person, how it's meant to be according to your view. Live in the live in the garden of Earth. There is no technology, no, there is no nothing, there is no art, there is no culture. Live in there, make your own life, live in complete harmony with nature, live in there. Then they will understand. then then like 1 year later we can check on them and we can see how many people are alive. Pretty much 80% of them would be dead and 20% will be alive, and they will be grateful that they lived in a first world country, or even a third world country where they had some form of electricity, and they would be grateful to live in a society like Germany, or like any Western country, even in an African country. If you live in an Amazon rainforest, I mean, frankly speaking, I never been to the Amazon rainforest, but I've seen documentaries and stuff on like the bunch of like tribal people living in Amazon rainforest. If you introduce like uncontracted tribes and stuff like that, so yeah, they would like, if you give them electricity or modern like technology or modern amenities to them, I bet they will be much more grateful. Like, do a population exchange, like put them in every put them in all of the Amazon tribal people's land. Take all of those Amazon people, tribal people, put them in Germany or put them in, like, I don't know, any other country where they're from. Do like a population exchange. Climate change activists, they're gonna change their living position with the like tribes that are in the Amazon rainforest. Do a population exchange. I bet that's a nice solution for it.
a politically
I live here
motivated
and nothing
attack.
happens to them.
And
Yeah,
that
well, you guys are getting ruled by Karens. You need to get
Yeah.
those Karens out of the government and get somebody in there
Kick-
that's ready to actually solve the problem.
Kick
You
the
should put
Karens
this
out of the
entire
government,
group on a
man.
terrorist watch list.
Kick
Find
the-
every single member of the group, arrest every single one of them. In my opinion, put all of the people that were involved in this up on capital punishment, and then put anybody.
Like, they should be charged with terrorism. That's it. They should be charged with terrorism. Those Karens, those hippie. I don't know that much about hippie, but I'm just saying that I'm ranting here. Those hippies, like woke climate activists, like who's their symbol or who's their figurehead? Greta Thunberg, yeah, climate change activist. I mean, she was a grifter about climate change. Now she's grifting about Palestine. So She changed, but she was an ex-climate activist. Like, put her and all of her cronies who are like her, put them in like in Amazon rainforest tribes, do a population exchange, then they will understand how good life was versus how their life is now.
Who's going to do this at all, put them on a terrorist watch list and put them in jail.
Yeah, they should
That's
be
what you should do.
they should be called eco
That's how you handle
terrorists
these people.
or environmental
Like, I mean,
terrorists.
what are we talking about?
Will take days to repair the damage.
It's obvious.
Yeah,
When we asked one of the partner companies to help us restore the power supply and described the situation,
The mayor's
they
doing
said it
nothing.
would take weeks for such a repair.
The reason why they don't do anything about it is because the people, they share the overarching politics with those people, and they're also afraid of them. That's the reason why they don't do anything about it.
the mayor is not doing anything because the mayor is pussy and he is ruled by a Karen. Or that's the best solution, that's the best outcome. Or the mayor is also a Karen, has similar ideology like those, like eco, like climate change activist or eco terrorist, I would call them, like environmental terrorist. Yeah, so same ideology. So that's why the mayor is not doing anything. They want to live in the, they want to live uh, in the good old times when there was no power, there was no pollution. Well, get the fuck out of Germany. Go live in Amazon rainforest, man. Or better yet, if you can't afford to go to Amazon rainforest, go to the Appalachian Mountains. Live in the Alps. The fuck? What's wrong with these people? I don't get it.
We've now agreed to do everything we can to get it done within 5 days.
Okay, that's good. 5 days.
Police are investigating the incident.
Are you anti-climate change argument? No, I'm actually a climate change believer. I just don't think that you should achieve that by making, like, destroying somebody's power. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
actually a supporter of climate change in a big way, and I think that we should do certain things in order to make it easier to, not have, things that destroy the environment. But
I agree with Asmon here. I agree with climate change. Climate change is a thing, but you can't like like you're fighting for a good cause. Climate change people or people anybody who supports climate change doesn't think of it as a hoax. I agree with that, but you can't take actions which hinders your own agenda. Because if you take actions like this, where you vandalize state property, public property, or when you vandalize like very expensive art, because you've seen like in so many news where these climate change activists, they will go to museum and smear paint and soup in like extraordinary valuable work of arts, paintings or statues, and they will vandalize that. Like, don't they understand that they are actually hindering and hurting the cause that they are fighting for? Because common public or general people will hate them because they will just think them as like Karens and hooligans, and it doesn't like put their agenda to the forefront at all. It actually makes a environment where their agenda goes backward several years. So it's just dumb. Their their heart is probably in the right place. They're passionate about a good cause, but their actions are horrible. So instead of doing that, like, here's an idea. They could protest by doing a hunger strike, which is like it come like try to think about it. Like Gandhi, he did hunger strike against the British Empire, the most powerful empire in the history of planet. Yes, the British Empire is the most powerful empire on the history of planet thus far. Maybe the maybe the empire of Trump would be bigger than the British Empire, but yeah, it was the most powerful empire. And he did hunger strike against them, went on fasting, not once, several times, and he got their attention. he fucking got their attention for sure. Like, if you wanna like show people that, yeah, the cause that we are fighting for, it means something, do a fucking hunger strike in front of the freaking energy building instead of vandalizing like equipment which creates nuisance for common, like, general people who are your like countrymen. Like, why would you do that? Why would you create nuisance for your own countrymen, instead doing hunger strikes in front of the politicians, or in front of the freaking, like, show, like, hold a banner, go on a hunger strike. I'm pretty sure people will, the most of the world's people will give you a lot of attention. You don't need to fucking vandalize things. That's what I'm saying. Just go on a hunger strike, hold a like a flyer. Instead of doing that, no, I'm gonna fucking vandalize state property, and I'm gonna throw like paint in a like Mona Lisa. What the fuck's wrong with these people? I don't get it.
Yet at the same time, that doesn't mean that you should do this.
As a suspected arson attack, and say they have received a letter claiming responsibility
Here we go.
for the power outage
Yeah.
without naming the group.
Our state security services received a letter claiming responsibility for our outage. Our colleagues are currently verifying the authenticity of this letter.
German media reports say
I
the
bet
far
it's
left
pretty
Volcano
authentic.
Group, which has claimed several such attacks in recent years, was
Okay.
behind the letter.
So they conducted multiple attacks and they are not still in jail. Why? Why they can't be in jail? I don't get that. Like, if they are vandalizing public property, they should be in jail. They should be in jail. Not those jail where you get like freaking like food and exercise from the jail. No, they should be jail where they have to make big rocks into little rocks, or do some carpentry. Make some money for the vandalization that you did. Until you pay off that money back to the state, you'll be in jail. Like, 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 think about it. If you do like some kind of vandalization, like let's say like 30 people did vandalization, and when the inquiry commission or the people who fix it, they will like calculate the cost of it. Yeah, obviously, which will be submitted to the government so that they will like pass the bill, and after or they will like give the cash to the like the responsible authorities, and the authorities, they know a number that how much damage they did. So they go to the jail and they do any kind of tasks in the jail, whether it is making big rocks into little rocks, or do some carpentry, or do some, I don't know, like make some fucking chipset, or make some like or solder some motherboards. Calculate them with some kind of minimum wage, hourly minimum wage every day. Until they pay off that money back, they shall remain in jail. It's a fair judgment. It's a fair thing. You'll be in jail and you'll pay your debt, which you did by causing damage to public property. That's a fair thing to do.
Let's bring in Hans Jakob Schindler. He's Senior Director of the Counter Extremism
And
Project.
super German
Welcome
name.
back to
This guy
DW.
named Schindler, he's from Germany.
Yeah.
So we just heard there that German police suspect the so-called Vulkangruppe, translated as Volcano Group, to be behind
Volcano.
this attack on Berlin's.
Why they are not fucking living on a volcano or near a volcano? Like, just go fucking live near a volcano, man. Why are you living in fucking Berlin? This is not like Berlin group. This is volcano group. Just go live in a island where there are a bunch of volcanoes. Live under the volcano. Fucking horrible people.
Electricity grid.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about this organization and who its members are?
So the group founded around 2011. They are from the anarchist
about
left
right.
extremist spectrum, and they have been making a name for themselves since, with several real big attacks against infrastructure, including grid.
See, this is so embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, if I was a German citizen, I would be completely ashamed of this. And as an American, I'm ashamed of our government because we let some of this stuff happen ourselves. The fact is that you need to go Old Testament on these people.
Yeah, you
like
need
the fact
to,
that this isn't the first
for
time that
sure.
it happened means that
It's like you have to understand this group was probably established in 2011. So, okay, now it's 2026. What the fuck is the German police force is doing? Like, why can't they get those people? I mean, if it took 5 years, I would understand. If it took 7 years, I would understand. But 2011, now 2026, really? Most of the founding members, they probably have even have kids who are now the new members of this group. It's like, what the fuck's wrong with people? Like, why the government? Like, I'm saying, think about it like this. Like, after the Second World War, the whole European countries, like the whole continent of Europe, most of the European countries, they have been drunk on peace so much. They are still drunk on peace and they are hungover from peace that, okay, we are not gonna do anything radical. We are not gonna do anything that is lit like that ensures that our people has a better life. We're gonna pussyfoot everything, especially with Germany. They're gonna like the right wing party in Germany. It's AfD. It's probably the second most or the third most popular party in Germany. It was never gonna be even the top 10 party, but it became because the general citizen, they're pissed off at the parties that came after like the Second World War and their dumb politically correct ideology. Like you can't run a country with political correctness ideology and woke culture and woke ideology. You just can't. You can't. At some point, the pendulum is gonna swing right, and and you have to pray that it doesn't swing too much to the ultra right, because Germany has an experience when the pendulum swings too much ultra right. They don't want a repeat of that, so that's why they're gonna pussyfoot everything. Have a balance, like create a equilibrium scenario where the right is perfectly balanced by left, but the left is perfectly balanced by right. If you shift too much to the left, oh boy, few decades later, the right is gonna come with vengeance.
the government knew these people were bad actors and they let them free, which means that whenever eventually somebody that actually has some balls takes over Germany again, you need to hold the people that didn't hold these other people accountable. They also need to be held as accomplices
Oh yeah,
for the crimes.
that's for sure. Yeah.
Because until people realize that there are going to be actual personal repercussions for this, they're going to just keep doing it because it's something that
because you need to establish actions have consequences. Like that's the whole concept of laws and regulations. If you don't show the people that yes, actions have consequences, they're not gonna give a shit. They're not even give they're not gonna give a shit of worth of two nickel that oh my actions might have consequences, because you're just giving them a home field like where they can go full like anarchy mode. Like, have you ever seen the movie Purge? Yeah, if you pussyfoot that much, it's gonna end up becoming like the Purge. There is no law, there is no rules, there is no regulation. It's complete and utter anarchy. If you don't establish the rule of law, and the first rule of law is actions have consequences. If you're gonna be a shitty guy, you're gonna be treated like a shitty guy by the law. You need to create law and you need to enforce laws. You can't let bad actors be bad actors constantly.
generally aligns with their values. That's what you need to do.
Critical infrastructure in Berlin and Brandenburg against the train system, 2011 to about 2015. twice against the Tesla factory
Fuck
in
me.
Brandenburg in 2021
Easier
and
said than done.
2024, and they
No,
are
it's
very
not.
likely behind a attack against a technology park in Adlersdorf, which also wrecked the electricity grid there.
Yeah, you see what he's saying? Like, I mean, they've done.
I mean, they have the data, but why they aren't? Why the police force is not taking any action? Because they are hold like think of it like this: the police force is the government is like the mob boss, and the police force are the enforcers of the mob boss. Okay, I know it sounds weird. I had a different analogy, but that would probably be much more worse. But okay, go with this analogy. If the mob boss doesn't give the police force heads up, hey, go take care of this, like those good old mafia movies, take care of it. The police force is not going to take care of it. They have the data. The government has the data. The Schindler guy, the bald Schindler guy from Germany, he has the data. If he has the data, for fuck's sake, even the government has the data and the police has the data. Why they can't just take necessary actions, lock them up in jail?
This multiple times before. Like, the people out there are like, yeah, obviously these terrorist people should get in trouble, and there's a big problem with like the fact that they're doing it. But I think the real anger should be directed at the government for not letting it, not shutting it down immediately.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Because the government is responsible for the safety of the every citizen and safety of every state property. Because that's like when a representative comes to the power in government by demanding vote from general citizens, they are it's like a contract. It's like an unspoken contract that okay, if you vote me, I'm gonna do that for you. But on top of that, I will make sure that you can live in this country with dignity, and I will make sure that this country will progress and prosper too. Otherwise, why the fuck would any like citizen would vote for you? If you can't ensure that, why the fuck would I vote for my congressman or my senator or my mayor? Why would I do that? If you can't ensure that, why the fuck would I vote for you? Every politicians who came to the power via election, they are essentially a employee of every general citizen living in that country. Every citizen in the country is the boss of any president, prime minister, senator, minister, mayor, statesman, congressman. So they need to appease us, the common citizen. If they can't do that, well, we're not going to vote for you the next time. At some point, eventually, something has to be done. Enough is enough. People need to say that and don't vote for them at all. For the people that who doesn't do anything, who promises a lot of things but doesn't deliver that promise.
It's because the institutions are feminized and women run them. Well, if somebody's doing it, you can't just flip the switch. Yeah, you absolutely can flip. You can easily solve this problem.
Flip the switch.
Like, what do you mean?
It's easy.
Nobody's gone to jail for this. Nothing's happened.
It will take only probably 6 months to 1 year at most. Like, just mass capture them because they got the data. Just fucking capture them. Fucking put them in jail. That's it. Like, like, put the ice. I know it's Germany. It's not America, but if the police can't do that, call the German military. I don't know if Germany has a military or not anymore, but I could be wrong. But they probably have. Like, if the police can't like round all the bad actors, well, ask the military. And you don't even need to bring that many guns, because most likely those woke, blue-haired retards, political activists, they're not gonna have guns because they're most likely anti-gun too. So just fuck it. And it's also Europe. I mean, Europe is not like America where you can buy a gun from 7-Eleven or from Costco. I know, or or from Walmart. So Europe is not like that. Europe is not like America. Just fucking capture them with guns. Just ask the police. If the police can't do enough, ask the army. Fucking capture all of them.
For this at all. It's crazy. They're arresting people for tweets instead of terrorism. Yeah, it's insane how bad. It's insane how just cynically and badly run this is.
Yeah.
Nothing will happen to them, and they try something even more extreme.
Like instead of capturing actual offenders and criminals, they are policing Twitter and Facebook posts and YouTube comments. The police are being used to capture people who did a mean tweet against the government or against the ideology that the government subscribes to. It's it's batshit crazy. At some point, people will wake up and they will say, enough is enough. We don't want to be ruled by limb-dicked woke losers like you.
This is getting dangerously close to Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six plotline. Maybe you're right. I don't know. I haven't seen that, but yeah, or read that. Our government is blind on left terrorism. Yeah, I think so. I think that they're doing that intentionally. Do you think Europe is too far gone? Absolutely not.
No, no, no. Loose group of individuals that nevertheless seem to have an identifiable leadership because the way these letters and part of their MO is always to leave a letter claiming responsibility under some.
So these people they're kind of like comic book villains or like kind of like Joker, where he commits a crime, he leaves a Joker card. So they're kind of like that. They'll commit a crime and they will put a letter. It's like, hey, this crime is committed by the Volcano Group. I'm like, really? Like, are they that traceable? Don't they see like freaking an episode of Dexter? Or not Dexter, sorry. Of like any kind of cop show in America? But they have like a serial like murderer who leaves a calling card. Like, that's just absurd. That's dumb.
Varying names, Vulcan Group against the progression of the destruction, or the Vulcan Group against down with the power. However, it seems to be the same group of people who formulate those letters. Hence, there is the assumption that it is actually a working structure, but it is within the anarchist structure of the left-wing extremist spectrum.
Yeah, of course.
And what exactly are they hoping to achieve with these sorts of attacks?
Well, it's they want to achieve anarchy. And they want to get rid of the status quo power so that they can come to the power and run the country how they want to run the country. Duh. That's what every revolutionary thinks. Like, we're gonna get rid of the status quo and create our own power, establish our own power system so that we can run the country the way we want to run the country. Duh.
Well, I mean, this is where it gets a little bit bizarre. So the anarchist spectrum of the left-wing extremists see all state structures, including, for example, social aid or unemployment insurance, as inherently structurally violent. And in their ideology, they want to the destruction of all state structures. They are against modern technology. They are against AI, for example. They attack the power grid. They attack the train station, the train system. So what they want is to bring down the state and then from this pure state of anarchy, build something up far more egalitarian. Hence, what happened last
Well, and I think that what he just said is very important. These people are not actually for anarchy. They're for ruling the state.
Yeah, what I just said. They want to destroy the old system or the old hierarchy so that they can establish their own idea of ruling the state or own idea of hierarchy within the state. Like gone with the old, start a new beginning. That's what anarchists are. They want to get rid of the status quo and replace it with their own status quo. I mean, that's what revolutionary, that's what people who are revolutionary minded or driven by an idea which drives them to do rebellion or any kind of revolution. That's what they do. That's what they did. Like that's how communism was created because people didn't want it to be governed by an emperor or a king. That's the same shit happened in Russia uh, when it was, I mean, before it was Soviet Union. That's why they killed every living family member of the Tsar. The Tsar is basically the Russian emperor. Communism was the birth of communism was a direct result of like European imperialism. I mean, they succeeded in one regard. They got rid of most of the like European empires or European like countries where they had any form of kings or empires. This in that regard, at least they succeeded. But now the same disease is coming back, and they want to get rid of the left wing or like semi left or left wing people who are running the countries because they want to get rid of that and replace that with their form of even anarchist or even more hardcore ideology, or even more fucked up ideology. This is basically communism 2.0, the communism giving birth to communism 2.0. Like, can you guys like try to wrap your mind around it? Communism giving birth to communism 2.0. It's dumb, isn't it?
So they want to destroy the state so they can replace the state with themselves.
Yeah.
This is the main thing that you have to understand, because a lot of people fall into the trap of assuming that these people are, conscientious actors that are fighting against the idea of, fascism or something else. They're absolutely not.
No.
They're just simply trying to consolidate power around themselves, and they
Exactly.
think that they should be the ones in charge and not the state.
Exactly.
There it
that's
is.
They want to be the new state. They want to replace the old state, old structure of the statehood within their country, and they want to get rid of that so that they can establish their version of state within their country. It's the communism giving birth to communism 2.0. Duh.
It really is, in the classical definition, a terrorist attack.
It is.
You mentioned that they've been doing this for a while. So
Bolshevik
why
is
was
right.
Berlin not better prepared for this kind of attack?
Because Berlin is ruled by cucks. I mean, Germany is ruled by cucks. Limp-dick cucks and Karens.
Well, first of all, we do have a very active left-wing extremist milieu in and around Berlin and Brandenburg, which means terrorist groups like this do...
Go get them.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
So you're saying that there's we have terrorist groups everywhere. Go get them.
Yeah.
What are y'all doing? You're arresting people for tweets, but you can't arrest them for terrorism? Oh my God. This is embarrassing.
have a
Jesus.
large support system. We just seen a couple of years ago the rest of the final member of the fourth generation of the Red Army faction in the middle of Berlin.
Fourth generation of an extremist group. Fuck me. They are breeding.
That's how strongly this social support network is, that terrorists can hide for decades within Berlin without the authorities being aware of it. Secondly, of course...
What's wrong with Europe? The reason what's wrong with Europe, let me explain why.
Okay.
Europe is massively cucked because of Hitler. That's the reason why.
Yeah, exactly.
It's because the Nazis were so bad that they reoriented the entire education structure, the entire social structure, and everything around making sure that people don't turn into Nazis and making sure that people don't turn into another Hitler.
Yep.
So basically, there's this original sin, especially in Germany and collectively with Europe, that Nazism and Hitler is a result of their culture, which is partially true, partially not true.
Like, okay, I'll simplify it even harder. After the Second World War, especially in Germany, I mean, yes, what the Nazis did and what Hitler did was horrible, so much horrible that they vowed that we will never repeat that. That the whole like ideology of Europe became like, hey, come, step on me, bro. That's their ideology. Any ethnic group or any minority group or any anarchy group or anybody who is like even little bit or even extremely contrasting with their idea of statehood or of their idea of democracy or any kind of fundamentally radical beliefs, like any group that has any kind of fanatical or fundamental radical viewpoints, whether it is religious, non-religious, or whether it is related to climate or anarchy, all of them are welcome and all of them can step on the like the establishment that is in Germany or that is throughout the Europe. So basically, anybody who's like a radical, come step on me, bro. It's fine. It's okay. Come step on me. I won't do anything. It's your right to step on me. I'm the worst. I'm the bad one. Come step on me. So they wanted to prevent Hitler so hard that I mean, I mean, if things go like this, they will probably create Hitler 2.0. Not now, but maybe in 50 years, maybe in 100 years. You never know, because at some point, if you like, if you swing the pendulum too much to the left, the pendulum is gonna swing with equal force from the right. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So don't go completely left, don't go completely right. Like because Hitler went completely unhinged, the Nazis and Hitler went completely unhinged in the other direction, they are becoming the completely unhinged on cuck and limb dick or limb dickishness or cuckness. Well, if you go completely to the limb dickishness and cuckness to the completely let the pendulum swing in that direction, guess what? There will be another Hitler.
And because of that, anything that is basically aggressive towards bad actors is
Yep.
seen as being on that spectrum.
Oh yeah.
They
Exactly.
exaggerated the fix. Is that not good? Well, it's not good when it
It's not.
manifests in ways like this. Obviously, it's bad to be a Nazi, but at the same time, it's also bad to let people come in and shut down the power grid. So, and that's the problem, is that it's such a massive overcorrection that I think the overcorrection is going to lead to another basically wave of Nazis. I think that's what's happening. It's going.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Exactly. That's how as like what has been like put forth. That's exactly like that. Like if you make it, if you overcorrect things too much, well, there that will create a scenario where another Hitler 2.0 will come. It's or another Nazi or something like Nazis will come. Like don't go completely full on to the left. Don't go completely full on to the right. Like you have to come in the middle. Center left, center right, okay. Middle is perfect. Well, nothing is perfect in world. So sometimes it's center left, sometimes it's center right. That's fine, but don't go completely to the left. Don't go completely to the right. They feared the complete. They feared the right so much that they went completely to the left, and then left wing is giving birth to the right wing. It's like communism giving birth to communism 2.0. Again, it's dumb. Don't go completely woke. If the governments throughout the whole European countries don't understand that, well, be ready for World War III.
to happen, and it's I'm not sure it's going to happen, but I think it will happen,
Oh
is
yeah,
that you're
it
going to
might
have
happen.
another wave of these people coming up because they're so angry at being oppressed. And then it's probably going to be even worse than it was then because we have way better technology now. We have
And
way
we
better
have
resources now.
nukes now.
And then you're going to have it happening globally, worldwide. And so the problem is that in their pursuit of trying to stop this ideology, I think that they've actually basically created a pressure cooker for it.
Yeah,
And what's happening now is that I think as soon as these people get power again, they're going to just go absolutely ballistic about it.
yeah.
And
They're gonna go
really,
all gun ho. If anybody who is like super hardcore right wing, if they and mark my word, they will come to the power if things goes down the drain like this. If things like keep going into the down like this, then somebody from a hardcore right will come and they're gonna go all gun ho, and it's not gonna be good for anyone.
that's kind of what happened the first time, to be fair,
Yeah,
but it's what's going to happen this time again. And so I think that's the reason why Europe gets cucked out by this. That's the reason
exactly.
why. And it's why the US does too, right? Because there's a shared cultural history with like Germany and a lot
That's
of
what
Americans. But
That's what happens in every Western countries. I'm sorry, that's what happens in every Western countries. That's why. Like, I don't remember the survey like a, or I don't remember the articles, but there was a article or a survey which a psychologist did where they said when, like, when your like average household income goes over 10,000 or $20,000 per like 10,000 or $20,000 per month or per week, something like that. I don't remember that exactly, that survey, but the gist of it was then you became erratic because then you lose the drive to even go further than that. Then you come with ideologies like dumb, fucked up ideologies like wokeism and stuff like that, where you take little kids and cut off their genitals, do irreparable damaging surgeries, transgender surgeries. So, like, because you have to think about like this, like, yeah, like imagine if it's like I'm not from a first world country, okay? If I'm from a third world country, yeah, I'll not name which country I'm from, but I'm from a third world country. So, what do I want from my life? Okay, I want a good income so that I could provide for my family, take care of my old mother and father, provide for my kids, provide for my wife, provide for my brothers and sister. All right, good. Eventually, if I can't do that, eventually my son or my daughter will be able to do that, and they will be comfortable with uh, they will reach to the point where within their income they can do that, and after doing that they can have a savings, okay, for their retirement, good. And after you achieve that, what does happen? Okay, all right, well, I can provide for everybody. Okay, I want to buy me a house. Okay, well, eventually you reach to a point on your average income that yeah, you can buy a house too. Okay, after that, what do you that? Okay, I'm gonna buy a car. Okay, all right. You you make sure with your income you can provide for your loved ones. You can buy a car, you can buy a house. Okay, what do I do? Okay, I wanna travel the world. Okay, then you earn even more so that you can travel the world. Okay, then what? Well, like I don't have anything else to do. But your income is still increasing and growing and growing. You don't have anything better to do. Like you don't have any goal post to go to. I'm not talking like in a society like everybody gets that, but certain like a large number of people will go to a situation like that where they don't have any, like everything else, everything in their life sounds boring because they don't have any the taste of accomplishment. That okay, I with my money I accomplished something which makes me happy. Well, with my current money, with my current source of income, or with my current assets, I don't have anything else to do. Like, even if I spend most of my money, I don't have anything else to do. You'll get bored out of your life. So, after that, what will you do? You'll get weird ideas like socialism. Oh, well, my life is so good. Why can't everybody's life be as good as me? That's why, like, most woke people, they are like most woke minded people, they're from like a very wealthy family, very affluently wealthy family, because they don't have anything to achieve in their life because they got trust fund money. Even if they don't work anything, they can enjoy their life like a forever, for generations. That's when they get like weird ideas like that. Like, that's the same thing happened in 1960s in the hippie movement. Most of the hippies were from, well, from very wealthy family because they just didn't have any way, any sense of accomplishment. So once a country's average income reaches a certain amount, I don't know, it was $10,000 or $15,000 per weekly or something like that. Like the psychologist, I don't even remember which was the psychologist, but he came to a conclusion that, yeah, once you reach a certain amount of average household income for citizens, people will start to have weird ideas. And that should make sense. Like if you like I mean, I like Slanesh. Like if you ever seen Slanesh, why was Slanesh born? The same concept here, is it not?
I think Europe is much more in proximity to it, so it's effective more so on them. And so many of them are afraid of being told that way, right? Or told that they're Nazi or something like that. It was such a massive overcorrection. They let migrants do whatever they want,
Oh
being
yeah,
anti-German without any consequence. Exactly. Yeah, I think that's it. And I think that they're
exactly.
speed running a new version of Hitler. I think they are.
Oh yeah,
And it's
and I feel like most likely Hitler 2.0 will come from UK because UK is in the worst situation. I don't know that much about Germany because I don't understand German, uh, but it is most likely going to be from UK. Hitler 2.0 will most likely come from UK.
I don't. By the way, I don't see how people don't see that. In my opinion, I feel like it's so obvious that's what's happening. Like
Anybody
people
with
are just becoming
common
more and more and more
sense,
radicalized.
anybody with common sense will understand. Like if they don't understand, I mean, God save them all. I pray that God will save them all.
Every year because they see these just blatantly dishonest things that are happening and totally
Yeah,
unfair things that are happening. It's massively radicalizing people.
when the government doesn't give the citizen basic dignities anymore, that will radicalize a large number of people within that country against the government or against the establishment that the government created. That's just it. The governments in Europe and most of the Western countries, they're stripping the dignity of the average citizen. Day by day, they are stripping the dignity of average citizen more and more. Eventually, they will revolt against the establishment where the pendulum will go to extreme right. If they don't put a cap on their actions now, well, World War III, with that's and that's gonna be horrible as fuck.
You should stay on U.S. politics. That's not true. We're cucked because we put finances over everything. EU is not all former Nazis. Is that true? EU is one of the country, is not one country, and we put finance over. I think this is true with every white European country besides Poland.
Yep.
And why is it not true with Poland? It's because Poland was invaded by the Nazis in 1939, and that's what started World War II. I don't think that's a coincidence. Poland is one of the only countries that isn't cucked out by this, and I think that's the reason why.
That's funny that history is cyclical. It's so funny. Like the country that was invaded by the Nazis, the country which was invaded by the Nazis, they are holding on to their own national idealistic belief, while every other country which even participated in the war or which was an ally to the Nazis, fought against the Nazis, or they were Nazis or the allies of Nazis, they are becoming like this. Like they are letting like extreme hardcore left-wing anarchist terrorist fester within their system. It's a way, I guess history and time, it's a way of like giving the dues. Like karma is a bitch, I guess.
And Hungary, I just don't know a lot about them. I have no idea.
Oh yeah, we were,
We're German. He's right, most.
oh yeah, Hungary was also invaded too. Hungary was invaded too, like Poland.
Yeah.
And this is not just Berlin. Here we just see this group being active. This is true for all of Germany because large infrastructure.
And by the way, his comment, I think, is accurate to a degree.
Yeah.
But I think that it's multiple things. So basically, what I think is happening is that the business elites and the oligarchies of the countries, they use these social issues as tools to suppress dissent and to import a bunch of workers so they can make more money.
Yeah.
So these different social issues are like malevolently weaponized in a way that benefits big business and large industry. That's why they want to bring in all the migrants. So it's not that you're wrong necessarily. It's that these are two sides of the same coin.
No, yeah, the commenter who commented on Asmon's stream, yeah, he's right too. But I'm saying that both of the things can be right simultaneously. Big corporations will always look for cheap labors or cheap. I mean, think about it like this. If you're running a business, if you can reduce your business cost, production cost, you can make more profit. Simple as that. So why won't you look for a way to reduce spending so that you can sell your product on a higher price so that you can make more profits? Uh, like that's just like the simplest and the most easiest logic ever. Businesses don't care about countries, but the politicians, they have to hold the businesses accountable with rules and regulations so that they don't get to do whatever they want to do. Because if if you like don't if you get bribes from the businesses, well, you became the bitch of the politicians will become the bitch of the business class or the business elites. Well, a politician cannot be a bitch of the business class or the business elites. If they became the bitch of the business class or business elites, well, they are compromised. So, so it's just like either way you go, it's it's like the end is the same. What is the end? The end is people are stripped, the citizen of that country are stripped of their identity, their dignity, their own nationality. And guess what? When enough people are stripped of their dignity, they won't give a shit anymore. They don't give a shit about, they won't give a shit about whether like they live or die. They're gonna revolt, they're gonna fight, and it becomes a scenario where it's us versus them. And when it becomes us versus them, well, That's the breeding ground of extremist ideologies like Nazism.
Is that the motivation is social justice for the people, but the motivation is business interests for the business elite. You're right.
Yeah.
Projects, including critical infrastructure projects, are usually public tenders. All of the technical details are, or most of the technical details are actually publicly available, including plans and maps. And therefore, critical infrastructure, if you know where to look, you can research online without actually having to go into any offices and break in and steal any
That's
plans. So there is
crazy.
a real vulnerability here in Berlin, but that's
Like,
not
how do you leave your plans on the internet after you've already had your shit shut down 2 times? Really? I mean, this is like going and reading a strategy guide for a video game.
So basically, the government or the establishment, they're giving basically maps to the anarchists that, hey, look at the maps. And the anarchists, they can determine where are the choke points or where the critical points are, where we can do the most amount of maximum damage to destroy the infrastructure or destroy the system. Think about it. They're basically giving them checkpoints where they can like strike. What the fuck?
Like, how can you be that fucking retarded? That's crazy.
just in Berlin. That's all over Germany. Because
How do you do
as a
that?
democratic society,
All over
we tend to
Germany?
be very transparent,
Wow.
especially when it comes to large-scale infrastructure projects financed by taxes.
And
That was-
guess what? Those places where the critical points, they're probably not well guarded because it's a high trust society. Because if it was not a high trust society, why would you share your like the whole power grid plans online? Okay, so it's a high, it's like a high class society. I mean, like it's a high trust society, and they share their plans. They're basically giving you checkpoints, and the people who want to cause the harm, they will cause the harm. Yes, they are ultra left wing, hardcore, radical, anarchist people. But imagine if it was another country or another country who had some issues with Germany, another country who was in war with Germany or who was fighting like some kind of like a war in Germany, and that country drone strikes all that shit with missiles. So basically, the whole German energy infrastructure will disappear within minutes. Okay, hypothetical scenario. Imagine Germany goes to war with, I don't know, uh, Belgium. Oh, no, okay, no, not Belgium, sorry, with France, because France has some defense technology. Okay. At some point in future, Germany goes to war, goes like has a war with France, and anybody in the War Council of France or any teenager in France, they can download the plans of Germany's entire energy grid from internet. They can Google it, okay, and they can give it to the War Council or the people who are planning for the war, and France flies bunch of drones over Germany. Okay, most of them will most likely be like intercepted. Fine. Even one or two got away and they fired a missile in one of those like critical points where you know if you damage that area, it's gonna destroy the whole infrastructure. It's gonna destroy the whole infrastructure of energy. What are you gonna do? Like Germany is fucked. Like they don't have like Tony Stark's arc reactor underground somewhere. They don't. They're gonna run on batteries. Probably solar power batteries. It's, I mean, try to think of it. It's so absurd. You're intentionally showing your vulnerabilities to the world. Why would you do that?
Is Hans-Jakob Schindler, the Senior Director of the Counter-Extremism Project. Many thanks indeed for breaking it down for us. We appreciate it.
Okay, good.
DW reporter Lars Halter is with me now. He is directly affected by the power outage as a resident of southwestern Berlin. Lars, first of all, talk to us about your night.
Interesting name.
It was interesting because it really started in the afternoon when I had to run some errands. You need some flashlights. You need to find out where you can charge your devices, your power bank.
So I was out and about. The
family was at home. And as I was driving home, it gets...
right now what you can do, if I was in Germany, I would probably buy some solar power batteries from China and list them on like Facebook Marketplace or list them on freaking sold them from like my own website. I do bunch of like SEO work, power outage, and it will probably make a nice amount of profit because guess what? The government shares the whole energy infrastructure plan in the internet, and anybody can vandalize and damage those key choke points or key checkpoints where it will destroy the whole energy grid or whole power system, and everybody will need solar power batteries. So I would stock up on solar power battery. Anybody who's in Germany, they should stock up on solar power batteries and sell them. It would sell like it would make you a lot of money. If I was in Germany, I would do that same thing.
Dark early, 4:30 is basically dark out. And then you drive through this city, a city of 3 million people. There's no traffic lights. There's no street lights. The traffic's slow, of course, because it's also icy. There's a lot of snow. And then at every intersection, you have to really be careful because nobody really knows what they're doing or so. As I got home, then, of course, my wife had some candles out. And so we had a...
Yeah, you can enjoy candlelight dinner, courtesy of the German government.
A little bit of light, and I brought those flashlights in that we bought, and that's how you help yourself, I guess. There's not much you can do. The kid had to prepare some homework.
But what's going on? Are you calling neighbors? Are you calling friends? Are you trying to find local news to see what's going on?
Yes, it's really nice to have these networks because the internet is spotty too. And if I can't get news online or so, then maybe my neighbor can. Maybe he was lucky enough to get some reception or so.
So you can't even get internet there properly because, I mean, guess what? What are the servers and what are the internet provider companies run on? Electricity. If you, like in this day and age, if you get rid of any country's electrical grid or energy grid, you essentially cripple that country because we are that much dependent on power and electricity. If you get rid of electricity, well, that country is fucked. That country can be invaded within minutes, within probably hours, and you're showing the energy grid online. Anybody can Google it and see it. Really? Really, Germany? What the fuck, Germany? Really?
So you're meeting people sometimes on the street or so. You try calling people. Some of my friends who are actually very, very close to my house, they are actually fine. They have electricity. So you would just right at the border of that section. And so you try to get your information there.
Lars, here's the thing. When I first found out that this was happening, the first thing I thought was I should try to call home and find out what's going on in my place. We weren't affected, but I was concerned immediately because...
Do you know why he was not affected? Because he's probably probably because of his ethnicity. Most likely. Because he probably doesn't live in a heavily German white area. That's why he was not affected. Most likely.
The weather just took a turn.
Yes.
For real dead of winter this week. It started getting extremely cold. How are you dealing with that?
That is a little bit of a problem, really, because
it's completely planned. The volcano group or whatever, like the freaking anarchist group, they knew that this week the weather is gonna be the coldest. So guess what? We're gonna strike before this week so that most amount of people can suffer for a week or for 5 days or for months, however time it takes. This week the weather is gonna be most coldest, or this week the weather is gonna be super cold. So we're gonna strike, and we're gonna ensure that most amount of people will suffer because of our action. And you can't. I'm talking as you. I'm addressing you as like the German government or the German police force. They can't fucking lock those people up and put them in jail. Really? It's a malicious group whose intentions are super clear. Cause as much as damage possible by doing vandalism of state property. Cause as much as suffering for the general public possible. I mean, it's like plain water. It's simple. Even a 3-year-old kid will understand that.
You
Gets
gotta start a
cold in the
fire.
house.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the first day was
They
fine
should get
because the
Starlink.
house is pretty well
Yeah,
insulated.
this is just more stuff. I don't need to see all this, but like, yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, I let me see if there's any more about this.
Thought to be behind the attack.
This organization is a far left group that was founded in 2011. So it's in existence for roughly 15 years. And since then, it committed multiple attacks.
Did you see how they evacuated the refugees immediately, but they wanted Germans to pay $70 for hotels? Remind me about that after I finish this.
So their aim is most likely on critical infrastructure, especially electricity. We have seen an attack 2 years ago on the Tesla electricity infrastructure, which they committed also, and that was a huge problem for the Tesla factory in Grünheide in Brandenburg.
Well, it was clearly also a huge problem for Southwest Berlin. You know, enormous numbers of people have been impacted by this. Does this tell us that Berlin is simply unprepared to cope with an attack like this?
It is. It does. Berlin is limp-dicked. Berlin is. I'm sorry, people from Berlin, but your city, your city is run by fucking limp-dicked morons. I'm sorry, but it is.
I don't think that they care. Honestly, I think that's really what it is. The entire thing is basically dead.
Yeah.
It was, but they reversed it? Okay. I'll look up that guy you said for me to look up. It's weird to see the power out everywhere. Everybody's like standing outside.
Because there is no power. Fuck me. And it's fucking ice and snow. No power at all. Fucking hell, man.
Sewage is also spewing up from the toilets because the pumps aren't working.
Oh, wow.
I wonder how many people have died because of this.
Okay, all right. So it was a nice video, and if you like my content and stuff, please don't forget to subscribe and like and comment. And yeah, thank you for staying with me, and bye.